So it's 9 goals conceded in 2 games for West Ham. Really, really poor in terms of defensively for West Ham yesterday. Man City 4, West Ham 1. A few things I want to talk about. Obviously, the main part being David Sullivan and his view at the moment on the situation in regards to Lopetegui. Also want to talk about the game yesterday and just a couple of players in particular. And also I want to talk about the sort of situation we're in and what I sort of feel how it's going to pan out and just give my thoughts on it, really. So obviously West Ham lost 4-1. It's actually exactly as I predicted it, 4-1. So surprised. I should have put bloody money on it. It's so annoying when it happens. But wasn't surprising. Although I didn't. It's really strange. Although very, very disappointed with the result, which is but expected. I don't think there's many fans. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but certainly people that were commenting on the preview, etc., were saying expecting a hammer in. So I don't think many were surprised. But I was actually quite surprised by the performance. I actually don't think it was probably one of our better performances this season. It just showcases how terrible we are at defending. We are absolutely incapable of it. In fact, Man City, I would go as far as saying, won't have an easier game much this season because they were crap, really, in terms of their standards. They were not good, Man City, at all. But they were happily walked away with a 4-1 win. And I think that just showcases where we are under Julen Lopetegui. Just this fragile, inept side that just cannot seem to keep teams out. We are unable to defend. It's shocking. It really is. And it's a shame because it feels like the situation with Lopetegui, it's almost like pulling off a plaster, just day by day, just putting a little bit more, a little bit here, and then we're waiting, just rip it off, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, what it's done, I think, is because I'll go into this game, sorry, I'm jumping around here a little bit, but in the preview, I talked about going into this match, and I said that I felt that if West Ham get a hammer in, that West Ham will pull the plug. And I still think that would be the case. I think that what's got him out of being sacked this time round, which is, I don't agree with, by the way, at all. I think it's wrong. As you know, my feelings on Lopetegui, I absolutely want him out of this football club. That David Sullivan now is clinging on to the stats of the game. Oh, well, West Ham created quite a few chances and it's one of our better performances. And I think that's what they're going to try and lean on. But it was always said originally after the Liverpool game that he would be given 2 more games. He was going to be given the Man City game and the Aston Villa game on this Friday night in the FA Cup. I mean, I really don't want to keep trying to predict what's going to happen here because I'm getting to the stage now where it's just like many, like yourself, I just feel exhausted with the whole debacle of what's going on at the club. It just feels that we are just stumbling along, I'm not seeing ambition. I'm not seeing a desire to get this situation turned around quick enough. It just seems to be, let's just wait and see. They're trying to cling to things that and draw out some positives. I'm not saying, right, that yesterday's performance, there was nothing positive in it because there was a couple of individual performances that were pretty good. But overall, it's not good enough. It was so predictable. And I'm not trying to say that just by the scoreline. I mean, just how the game was going to pan out. Even when I was watching that game and we started quite brightly and all right, we went 1-0 down through an own goal through Soufal, which I thought was really harsh on us. I thought at that point we were playing pretty well. And they didn't deserve that goal is what my feelings on it. I don't think Man City deserved it at all. I thought West Ham were a better team at that point. They just got a goal for a bit of luck. I mean, poor defending from us, I will say. I thought we could have handled the situation better. But not from Soufal. I thought Soufal didn't really do too much wrong. He just got skinned. He struggled big time yesterday. Really starting to show that he is now coming towards his end, I feel, Soufal, unfortunately. But once they scored, even though it was against man of play, and I felt it was game over. Do you know what I mean? It's like I knew straight away, we're 1-0 down. Even though we're playing well, we're out this game. And they will score more goals. It just feels so predictable when you talk about West Ham at the moment and how things are going to plan out. And it really was a case of that yesterday. I felt it was really strange. It's the first time I went into a game knowing we were going to lose, and even when we were playing all right. Like sometimes you get that belief starts to come into your blood. You start going, do you know what? Oh, I fancy us here. Even when we were playing well, I just knew we were going to lose. Though I had no belief in my mind. We're going to get something out of this game. I just didn't think we would. Purely on the basis, I just think like defensively we are shocking. I mean, we're bad enough going forward at the moment. Although I did think that yesterday was a better performance in that regard, but defensively, we're all over the shop, midfield as well. We're just too easy to play against. And Man City are a team that are nowhere near the level they are usually playing at. And I felt that they just felt that it was like a training ground game in the end for them in terms of putting away chances. It was just too easy, and it could have been a lot more. Had it been more, if we'd have gone into the realms of 6 or 7, I think then he'd have been sacked. I genuinely think that would have happened. I really do. I feel like just because it's 4-1, 3 goals, they'll go, well, and also we created lots of chances. They're going to lean on that again more. I don't agree with it, as I say. So we've got an update from XWHU employee on the situation. It doesn't make good reading, so just to pre-warn you, you may well have seen it already. It's done its rounds a little bit now because obviously we put it on the website, etc. And other media people pick it up on it. But this is where we are at the moment. So this evening, this is from X. I'm just repeating what he put out on Patreon. So this evening, we asked the question: does the result change the position of the manager? The reply was, this has come from the top, so you can assume it's David Sullivan, says, it puts him further under pressure. We are letting in too many goals and look far too fragile. I mean, a bit of a woolly statement, really. Puts him further under pressure. I don't like all this, by the way. Just want to make it really clear. I don't like the fact that we're getting this drip feed from our chairman, all these sort of silly lines and stuff. I don't like it. I wish they would just, like I said earlier about the plaster, if he's just put it off. Draw a line. This isn't working out. Move forward. I'm struggling to understand what the hold up is here, considering the fact we've got Graham Potter ready to come in. I know some people will say that he's not the right guy, and I've had a lot of people comment and say to me, Marty's just not the guy they want. I understand it, but I'm thinking more of a short term for the moment, just 6 months, bring him in. Anyway, let me go back to what he said. So you also know, so this is from XWH employee. He believes he's going to get the Villa game at the moment. It could change, but we believe I think that is the case now. I don't think Sullivan's going to pull the trigger now until they will review it after the Aston Villa game. I think if we lose that, then he's surely got to be gone. But I hate to say it now. I'm actually getting to the stage where I'm doubting myself, feeling like that, because I just can't. David Sullivan is just too difficult to predict in some ways. He just seems to be so desperate to cling on to Lopetegui, and it's becoming very, very painful to witness it. So let's go on to David Moyes' situation, because David Moyes was at the ground yesterday. So there was a bit of speculation there. Is there a chance that Moyes could be having talks with the club coming in on a short-term deal? So the response on that from David Sullivan was not really. As much as I like him, we started letting in a lot of goals on the last 6 months under him. So David Moyes won't be coming back as West Ham manager, which I didn't think was the case anyway. I really didn't think that West Ham would go back to Moyes. And I did feel that was a highly unlikely scenario, to be honest. My feeling has always been that it will be Potter. If West Ham act, I mean, the guys I talked about in the previous video regarding Potter, I feel like it's coming quite evident now that he's becoming frustrated with the situation. This Graham Potter, he's accepted to come in on a short-term deal, and now it's the club just continually giving Lopetegui more and more games. It's really, really poor from the way the club are handling the situation. But on the game yesterday, I want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it too individual, as on its own. I want to talk about it as a collective, because I feel like it's important that we do, because things are just not good at the club at the moment. At all. That Julen Lopetegui, we talk about discipline, right? First of all, Julen Lopetegui again picks up another yellow card. That's his 5th yellow card on the touchline season. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible from a manager to continually keep losing his cool. I feel like that just, when you're watching that kind of lack of discipline and you're seeing these issues continually week after week, whether it be the players or on the bench, whatever it may be, it just shows that there's no harmony. There's a problem. That alone screams a real issue. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better, does it? We are getting the yellow cards this season, and red cards have been horrendous, and Lopetegui he's not changing either. And he's come out a couple of times now and said, "Oh yeah, I will be learning my lesson. I won't be doing that again." Well, he's clearly not. It's really bad. I'm really not impressed with it at all. But I actually thought the overall performance was better than we've experienced in recent weeks. I thought that was actually one of our better performances. I thought the game plan was okay. I thought I kind of saw what we were trying to do. We were trying to play this counter-attack football, which I quite liked, because I thought like it was going to work. And I thought that we were creating a few chances out of it. And we should have taken our chances. We did have a couple early on. Kudus was guilty of missing a big chance, as was Thomas Souček. I thought Summerville was very, very good, very lively. I thought one of the better performers. I thought Lucas Paqueta played one of his better games for us as well. But I thought Edson Alvarez was terrible. I've got to be honest. I feel like he has just been in terrible form all season for us. Nowhere near the level he's at. I thought Mohamed Kudus, although it looks lively at times, he's just so wasteful. I feel like his decision making as well is selfish. He didn't lay the passes off when it was needed to. And as I say about Soufal, I thought was poor as well. I've not trying to be harsh on him because I really do love Soufal. I love his attitude and the fact how well he's done at this club. But he's just getting skinned far too often now. He looks so off the pace, doesn't he, at times? And it really struggled. I thought Mavropanos looked poor as well coming on. And also Areola, I've got to be honest, I thought was at fault for a couple of the goals. I mean, especially the Haaland header. I don't know what he was trying to do. I've already voiced my concerns on him. And I will say, though, I thought Nicholas Fulker actually played all right. I thought looked pretty good. And he's got his goal and another goal in the Premier League for him, which is good. I mean, there were a couple of positives to take from that, which is, and I really do try my best to be as fair as I can. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to just sit here and go, oh, we're just crap, I'll Lopetegui shit, and that's it. I want to try and be honest about that performance. I don't actually think it was that bad. It's just the fact that we're just so bad defensively and teams can just cut us apart. And even though the fact that we actually played all right and Man City weren't that good, they could have won by more. Do you know what I mean? It's a terrible scenario to be in. I feel like the club are just continually kicking this decision down the road. It's quite clear and obvious what we need to do. We need to get the head coach replaced. It's not working. But he's going to be given the Villa game, isn't he? Let's be honest. From what we're seeing now from David Sullivan, they're going to give him another try. Which was, as I say, I know that was kind of what was said originally after the Liverpool game, was that he was going to give him 2 more games. As I say, my general gut feeling was that if we had taken a hammering off Man City, then he would have been dismissed. I feel like just because of the performance and the fact that one goal probably may have just saved him. It's 4-1. They're going, well, we got a goal and we played it okay at times. I think that they're going to cling on to that. I don't agree with it at all. I think it's ridiculous, but that is the state of play at the moment. It's really, really horrible position to be in, isn't it, as a West Ham fan at the moment? It's incredibly deflating. The belief in me is just non-existent at the moment. I don't know how you're feeling, and there might be some people who say no. I'm still optimistic. I still think we can do all right. But even as I say, even watching West Ham play okay, I know we're going to lose. And even now, after that, going into another game, I've got no confidence. We've got Aston Villa coming up next in the FA Cup, and you think, come on, that's an opportunity for us. And I'm just thinking, no, it isn't an opportunity. I don't have belief, and it's very, very hard. And I feel like not only do we need to get rid of Lopetegui because of the situation we find ourselves in, because the tactics are just not good enough. I mean, we're clearly seeing that defensively we're shocking, and it needs sorting out. I actually just feel like the club needs that injection. Do you know what I mean? Just to get rid of this, draw a line and get someone fresh in, just to give everyone a bit of a lift and just to lift the club up a bit, because we are on our knees really with this. And it's a tough time for this football club. It really is. The season's slipping away, further and further all the time. We've got games coming all the time. We've got a FA Cup game coming up next. As I've said, I'm not even looking forward to the FA Cup. Every year I usually go, FA Cup, come on West Ham, let's give it a go. I'm even struggling with that, and it's very deflating to be like that. But here we are. We are where we are. The situation isn't going to change anytime soon in terms of this week. It'll obviously be, if West Ham take a tonking off of Aston Villa, I think that will be the end. People are going to say, Christ, Mike, you say it's every video. I generally think it will be. But who knows? Who knows? I do feel like to try and lean on some positivity, there was a couple of positive performances in there. Somerville and Fulker, I would say, were the 2. Maybe even possibly Paqueta, you could add to that. But, it's just not good enough. Rolling over and letting a team that have been so poor, and they weren't that great yesterday, comfortably walk away with 4-1 win is hard. It really is. And I think it just showcases exactly where West Ham are at. A team that are just so fragile, so bad, that every other team would just look forward to playing West Ham next. I think Aston Villa will be going lovely, jubbly, can't wait for Friday. I think every team at the moment would love to play West Ham, and I'm even including Championship teams in that. I think they'll go, I fancy them. It's got to that stage now. Obviously, we've got the January transfer window open now, so that's going to be keeping us quite busy on this channel as well. Of course, we'll try and keep updated with that. There'll be more video coming, another video coming tomorrow, more of an update with where things are at. Also, we've got the West Ham Way podcast. X will be out tomorrow night, which will give a real proper detailed update on the transfer situation. And look, the Lopetegui situation can change. I'm not suggesting that it's absolutely ruled out he won't lose his job. I don't think he will. I think that performance will probably just buy him another game just. But the pressure's mounting on him, isn't it? Let's be honest. I mean, it's ridiculous the club are dragging this on, but it's West Ham. What do you expect, you know? But look, I want to try and draw a line under it and move forward. We've got a new fresh week, and hopefully we can start seeing some bit of movement in the January transfer window, start seeing some players coming through and what we're going to be trying to do. It's going to be a busy time for the club, and I still firmly suspect that Lopetegui will be gone soon. I really do, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be today, or I think he's going to be at least for the Villa game. So there we go. Until then, come on your ones.